CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Fighting through the heat and now the humidity. High temperatures return to our region. Thank you for joining us. Despite the rain that fell today, there was no break from the heavy humidity across both Simcoe County and Muskoka that left many outside during the heat of the afternoon, just trying to cool down. Let's get to CTV's Luke Samardi. Joins us live tonight this hour. Doesn't feel too bad out there at this point, though. Luke.
Yeah, Sarah, the clouds have been a nice break for those choosing to be outside. However, for others, the humidity has taken over and precautions have to be taken. A little rain was not enough to stop construction on Livingston Street in North Barrie as crews remain laying asphalt and dealing with the humid conditions.
Oh, very exhausting, very hot, very humid.
The fresh asphalt mixed with cool rain created some steamy conditions, forcing works to take extra efforts in staying cool.
Just keeping hydrated as best I can, keep a fan on me whenever I need it, that sort of thing. What's going through my head is trying to find some shade if I can.
The Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit continues to remind people to take care of themselves if they are in the heat.
From June 29th to July 5th, we had 27 heat-related emergency department visits within our region. There's a whole host of different heat-related illnesses, like you mentioned, heat stroke, heat rash, so lots of different presentations.
The health unit says some simple actions can help you stay safe.
When it's hot outside, it's probably hot inside as well in certain places. So if you're in an environment where the indoors is not cool, it's important to find a cool space and also ensure that you have access to lots of water.
Meanwhile, on the links, the rain and humidity not a barrier for golf lovers.
A lot of water, especially if you walk. You know, car is fine, but if you walk 18 holes, then you need to drink a lot.
It's nice and cool now, and my wedge game feels good because the grass is nice and soft.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the better weather. The rain can be better, but I like the feel of it better.
Although rain can deter golfers, it's allowing the course to look fresh and green right in the middle of the season.
Last year, we had a pretty serious drought where it didn't rain for probably a month, and it's what I call the Shanty Bay Bake Sale is, you know, we don't water everywhere, and the places that we don't water, they start to turn brown, and it's inevitable. So we're at the hands of Mother Nature.
The Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit is reminding residents to check in on their loved ones, and that includes the vulnerable population, and reminding them to keep cool during this warm weather. Reporting live, I'm Luke Samar. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Luke. Let's go ahead and dive into our first look at weather. For that, we say good evening to Casey Colby. How's it feeling, Case?
Well, we're just getting a little shower right now. Mother Nature's decided to turn on the sprinkler system, and the rain is starting to come down. We've been looking at showers in the area. There has been severe thunderstorm warnings and watches in the southern part of the province, but we have yet to receive any of those. But the showers, they've started, and the humidity levels certainly have lifted. Let's continue on right now with a first look at the forecast. Brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. Winds out of the northwest, 17 kilometers an hour. We're not anticipating a very windy day, or evening rather, on land. On water, well, we'll get to that in a little while. Let's continue on as we take a look at the first look at the forecast. And we're looking at temperatures lifting, cooling, or humidity levels lifting and cooling. 20 degrees right now in Alliston, 22 in Newmarket, 21 in Parry Sound, and 22 degrees in Owen Sound as we speak. And as mentioned, the humidity is lifting, and this is part of the reason why. Look at the size of this system. Radar satellite images over the last little while, and this is the southern portion of the province, and it continues to blast on through. There are some intense moments. It is a large system. It truly is, and it is affecting parts of the eastern U.S. seaboard as we speak, be it both the southern portion and the northern portion a little later on. Tomorrow morning, I believe it should be hitting New York City and the rest of them out there, and everyone else out in the beautiful east coast of Canada too. And coming up, Sarah, in just a few minutes' time, don't let this rain fool you as it comes down. Mother Nature has a new plan for the weekend. I'll share it with you coming up just a few minutes' time back inside.
Looking forward to that. Thanks, Case. The city of Barrie is preparing for what they're telling us is a landmark sports and infrastructure announcement next week. In a news release issued today, an event will be held downtown at Meridian Place on Tuesday afternoon, and it will involve Toronto FC, MLS Next Pro, and the city. Back in 2024, after the Marshall Green Report was issued, city staff were directed to launch the initial process of building a soccer stadium by the downtown Barrie Fire Hall on the property that used to host the Barrie Central Collegiate.
There's a lot happening in Barrie at the moment, and with the amount of investment that's going to be coming into the city of Barrie from the sports community as a whole, I think the residents are going to be incredibly excited about what we have to offer. It's going to be great for downtown, great for the surrounding area, and certainly an awesome opportunity to have a new community hub.
Full details will be released on Tuesday afternoon, and we'll be sure to have that for you on CTV Barrie. Springwater's mayor has been censured after a lengthy investigation into language she used in private conversations during heated annexation talks. At a regular council meeting yesterday, Mayor Jennifer Coughlin apologized for the language she chose, but not the concern that she expressed with it.
It is not about my integrity, it is about my vocabulary. I will continue to trust my gut in simply knowing right from wrong and continue to challenge myself to find ways to make right of our political landscape as it unfolds. I deeply regret my choice of words, understanding the impact described within the report. With better language, I will continue to question right from wrong.
According to the township's integrity commissioner, Mayor Coughlin broke the council's code of conduct in the fall of 2025 when she called developer Mario Giampietri and the Midhurst landowners group the Mafia and said they had tentacles everywhere. The apology fulfilled the reprimand ordered by council. Mayor Coughlin is facing no further sanctions. With the municipal election just over 3 months away, the province has announced that it will appoint the next chair of the District of Muskoka. In a letter to the district, the Ontario Municipal Affairs Minister Robert Flack said under the Better Regional Governances Act, he plans to appoint the next chair, which is currently held by Jeff Lehman. The letter says the act is meant to better align shared provincial municipal priorities and strengthen the governance tools available to support growth. The position has now been posted on the district's website, and the deadline is July 13th. Well, it is a unique concept garnering a lot of attention and great respect. It's the healing power of horses, and as CTV's Rob Cooper shows us, the impact it has on people living with varying disabilities unmatched.
Can we say hi to Taylor? Come on.
Usually it's horses that take giant strides.
Leg up.
At Hope Haven in Markdale, it's the hundreds of participants galloping their way to personal victories with their four-legged friends. That's Denver Woodbridge showing off his riding skills today.
When I was going to the middle, I said walk on, and I walked back so hard that he stopped.
The Hope Haven Therapeutic Riding Center has been working with young and old with cognitive, intellectual, and physical disabilities for the past 15 years. The facility uses more than a dozen horses to connect its participants, both emotionally and physically.
Horses have this unique ability to connect, and they read what the human is putting out. When they're on a horse in a 30-minute session, they're gaining thousands of neurological input to their central nervous system to teach that central nervous system what it should feel like for a proper symmetrical gait pattern.
Alicia Masterson's son Carter has been coming here for 4 years. She says his progress has been fascinating to watch.
Absolutely. So Carter attended Hope Haven and wouldn't even enter the premises. He was riddled in anxiety. And now he confidently walks into the arena. He loves to associate with the horses and socialize with the staff. He's just so much more confident and independent as well.
Tatum Rain is another big success story. Since joining, she's become a terrific rider, always with a big smile. Volunteers at the facility say they've noticed how the program changes lives, sometimes their own.
Like, what better thing to make you feel better, you know, and just feel good. You know, I thought about some different volunteer things, but nothing is rewarding like this.
Hope Haven also has a program for school kids and summer camps. Everyone gets a chance to ride the horses and even help take care of the animals. Now, Hope Haven operates year-round and serves about 400 participants of all ages. It costs about $1 million to run the facility every year, so as you can imagine, they're always looking for donations and, of course, volunteers. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Markdale.
The province announcing nearly $7 million for 3 hospitals in Simcoe North, Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital, Waypoint Centre for Mental Health Care, and Georgian Bay General Hospital will split $6.9 million. The province says the money will be used for critical upgrades and repairs to improve patient experience, support dedicated healthcare professionals, and strengthen the long-term reliability of the local healthcare system. No injuries were reported after a crash between a train and a pickup truck in Bracebridge. That was this afternoon. Fire officials say it happened around 1:45 on High Falls Road near Manitoba Street at a level crossing. It involved a passenger train. Ontario Northland confirming with CTV News it was one of the train sets, and it took place during staff onboarding and training before full passenger service. Adding lights were activated at the time of the collision. 4 people were sent to hospital after a head-on crash in Agila-Tossarantio overnight. It happened just after midnight on Highway 89 between Concession Road 4 and County Road 13. Fire officials say they had to use the jaws of life to get them out, and 4 people were taken to hospital. Paramedics say 3 were taken to Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The road was closed for several hours for the investigation. A 21-year-old Barrie man is facing charges after an incident in the South End. Barrie police say just before 11 on Tuesday night, an officer saw a vehicle speed through a red light at Ann and Essa Streets. The officer tried to stop the driver, but he sped up. Police then tried to stop him twice more in the area before the vehicle was pulled over on Beacon Road around 11:30 p.m. The man faces several charges, including 3 counts of flight from a peace officer and dangerous operation. Meanwhile, 6 youths are facing charges after breaking into a construction site in Bradford, West Gwillimbury. So Simcoe police were called to the site on Holland Street West around 1:50 on Wednesday morning. When officers arrived, they found the group who had entered the property without organization or authorization. All 6 were arrested and charged under the Trespass to Property Act. They're scheduled to appear in court in October. A man convicted of human trafficking last month has now pleaded guilty to having homemade knives on him while in jail. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports, but first a warning that this story contains details that may be disturbing and triggering to our viewers.
Convicted sex trafficker Tyrone Diaz has now pleaded guilty to having 3 shank knives on him in jail in Penetanguishene last summer. Diaz, the court heard, was found with the weapons hidden inside a sock in his waistband, while guards were about to search his cell with canines. As part of a joint submission by the Crown and Defense, the court heard Diaz reluctantly handed over the knives to officers in the jail. Lawyer Marvin Schiffman told the court Diaz was the target of violence in jail and had been previously attacked and stabbed by other inmates. Schiffman said Diaz faced several threats of violence and there were problems ensuring his safety in the Penetanguishene jail. Diaz, his co-accused Jashina Singh, O'Neill Hopkinson, and Joseph Carvalho were all convicted of 16 human trafficking counts, including exploiting several women in the sex trade by advertising their services online. The women the court heard were supplied drugs and sold to men at homes or taken to hotel rooms to meet clients. Another co-accused, Edgar Martinez, identified Diaz as the head of the operation, with Singh second in charge. Martinez admitted to providing security for the women while they were with clients. The arrest came following several months of investigation into the human trafficking ring, dubbed Project Chameleon. Police said drugs and weapons were also seized from the home. The convicted human traffickers await sentencing. Singh and Diaz were also charged with drug trafficking, with trial dates scheduled in the fall. Justice Robert Cottrell accepted the joint proposal and sentenced Diaz to 30 days for having the knives on him. Singh and Diaz are scheduled to return to a virtual courtroom in 2 weeks to address the remaining drug charges. Those allegations against them have not been tested in court. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Bradford.
The York Regional Police Service has announced its new deputy chief. Superintendent Ahmad Salhia has been given the nod by the YRP Service Board. Salhia has more than 23 years of policing experience, having served with York Regional Police in a variety of operational and executive leadership roles. That includes serving as an inspector in Vaughan, where he led policing operations for one of York Region's largest and most diverse communities. Salhia began his new role on Wednesday. Pearson Airport is warning travelers about a surge in AI-generated articles that are spreading misinformation about its operations online. The airport says so-called clickbait websites are using bot authors to write stories that contain false details about on-time performance, delays, and cancellations. It says some sites use bots that create more than 100 articles a day with bogus figures and misleading context. The airport says passengers should rely on their airlines and Pearson's official website for accurate information about delays and cancellations. The renewed violence in the Middle East is having an impact on global fuel costs. Drivers are being urged to fill up today as gas prices are expected to spike tomorrow. CTV's Janice Golding was out talking to drivers looking to fill up ahead of the increase.
As tensions rise between the U.S. and Iran, so too is the price of oil, meaning we can all expect to pay more at the pumps.
Very expensive.
Like before, like for 50, 60 bucks, I got to pay 80, 90 bucks.
Too much. It's very disappointed we are.
In fact, drivers in the GTA are advised to fill their tanks today as gas prices are expected to jump 5 cents a litre tomorrow to hit 169.9 cents. And diesel is expected to go up 13 cents per litre to hit 198.9. Analysts say prices are likely to go up another 5 cents or more through the weekend.
Sooner or later, it's going to have to appear. We're going to have to pay the price of what it amounts to about a 20% drop in global oil supplies.
Just 18 days after the U.S. and Iran agreed to a 60-day ceasefire, President Donald Trump declared the deal was over. This followed Iranian attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, with the U.S. launching retaliatory airstrikes on Iran. Following this, the price of oil rose to its highest point in weeks.
We're going to cut wherever you can, not get as much meat maybe, not go out as much with the family.
We are buying less coffee, less shopping.
Dan McTagg advises drivers not to buy gas before 6 p.m. in the GTA when it's cheaper. Janice Golding, CTV News.
It has been a staple in our region for 3 decades, and now Casino Rama is preparing to mark the milestone. The end of July, marks the 30th anniversary of the resort. Over the years, it's welcomed more than 76 million visitors to its gaming floor, had more than 2,700 shows in its theater, and donated more than $14.5 million to nonprofit and community organizations. Casino Rama Resort will host a special customer appreciation event from July 27th to the 31st, and will speak with its general manager, Helen Cooper, coming up a little later in the newscast. On the other side of the break, a rare sight that can only be seen in Muskoka, where you can tour this 17th century home rich with history. Plus, pushing for more women on the workforce, what the provincial police are doing to encourage more to join. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. We've got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Thanks for staying with us. Diversifying Ontario's police service through the addition of more women.
We are here today to celebrate the OPP's commitment to increase the representation of women in policing by signing onto the 30 Forward initiative.
The Ontario Provincial Police hosting a one-day event at the Aurelia headquarters to celebrate women in policing and to encourage more to join. OPP calling it a powerful and historic moment for the profession across the country, bringing together members of the organization, the public, and leaders in the community to highlight the commitment to women in positions of authority.
On behalf of 30 Forward, we are very pleased to welcome the Ontario Provincial Police as a signatory to the 30 Forward Pledge. The OPP's commitment is significant.
We want to thank you for bringing 30 forward to the OPP. You have my commitment, you have our commitment that we are going to do our best to strive to recruit 30% female.
The day-long event featured a diverse panel of OPP members to encourage mentorship and support for the advancement of women in policing. It is without question the most famous bird cage in Muskoka, one that you can tour because Woodchester Villa is a heritage landmark with tremendous history.
I love taking people through tours and talking about the history of Woodchester and its unique architecture and the family.
Complete with original stained glass, the first house in Bracebridge to have electricity, and its owner a reputation as a shrewd businessman in the wool industry that loved his community and his family.
Henry Bird and his wife Mary had 7 children, 4 boys who were born in an apartment above the wool mill before Woodchester was finished being built, and 3 daughters who were born in the home here.
Interesting fact that all 3 daughters lived at Woodchester until they passed on in the 70s. If you're looking for something to do on Wednesday nights this summer, the city of Barrie has you covered.
Have different crayons and stuff. They have paper if they want to draw a picture.
Neighborhood nights are back every week all summer long. It's rec pop-ups at different city parks. Last night was at Minette's Point Park. Staff bring games, hands-on experiences with the nature trailer, and a chance to connect with community services.
To really connect with our community and provide resources and activities that maybe families or children don't get access to outside of the community. So it's a really good opportunity for families to allow their kids to play different sports, connect with different friends, and have bonding time other than just at school or at the house.
Neighborhood nights are every Wednesday until the end of August. Next week it will be at Cartwright Park in the north end of the city. If you are looking to get caught up on community events, local stories, breaking news as it happens, all of that is consistently updated on our website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or scan that QR code on your screen. Still to come, which Canadian superstar will join some of the biggest on the planet during the final FIFA World Cup match? Who could it be? That's coming up in just a few moments, but right now let's head outside. Case.
Well, Mother Nature just turned off the sprinkler system and we're getting a little bit of sunshine, but how long will the rain stick around? Because it's on its way back. I'll have that answer for you coming up. In the meantime, let's have a look. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the campfire conditions across our region. In Simcoe County, the fire danger rating has been set at moderate, while in Muskoka, the fire rating continues to be high. The campfire conditions are brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. You're watching CTV News, and this is our weather watcher, Artiste Gabriel. I've got that outfit. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 1041.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to Over the River and Through the Woods at Kings Wharf Theater.
So make sure you're listening from Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
About keeping cool during these warm summer days. Oh, just love seeing those refreshing photos. Picture this at ctv.ca is the email address. Keep them coming. Case, I talk about it all the time, how much I appreciate our viewers. A lovely lady named Marlene. She came by the station today, but she said she didn't want to bother anybody, so she dropped this off. It's a bag that says, "Just a girl who loves pickles." And not only that, she paired it with this adorable little pickle pin that she said she had for years, and she wanted to pass it on to me. So here I am proudly displaying it. Thank you, Marlene. And by all means, next time come in and say hello, because what a wonderful gift, Case.
It's a real underground movement, actually. It's snowballing. Who knows where this ends up? But yes, the pickle power. I guess that's what we're going to go with. Pickle power? Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that. Well, and I'm sure we will at a later date. Let's talk about the weather, though, right now, and let's get right into it as far as, yes, Mother Nature has turned off the sprinkler system, but I'm looking at the western skies, and I'm seeing more fun, as in wet fun, on the way. This is a look at the temperatures as we speak, and yes, the humidex is off the board because it's cooler out here, considerably cooler. Looking at 20 degrees as we speak, or it's feeling like 20 degrees right now. It is 20 degrees right now in Collingwood, 22 in Gravenhurst, 22 in the Sunshine City of Orillia, and 19 degrees in Alliston, Ontario. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the almanac for today. Our high and our low, 23 and 18. And a record, wow, 37.2 going back to 1911. That was an exceptionally warm summer. And 7.2 for record cool 1950. Sun rises tomorrow at 5:44. It sets at 9:03. 15 hours and 18 minutes of daylight. This is the forecast radar. We are not finished with the shower activity or the possibility of shower activity this evening. And into tomorrow, well, yeah, you can see that there could be a little something else tomorrow afternoon, but let's not get too far ahead. This is southern Temple George and Bay Lake Simcoe. Overnight temperatures settling in 16 and 18 degrees, and settling in is what we anticipate a little low-lying fog too. There is a risk of a thunderstorm this evening, and then tomorrow, well, humidity levels start to build. 26, 27, feeling 33, mainly cloudy, and a 30% chance of a shower into the afternoon as per the forecast radar. We just saw that. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 18 and 19 degrees. Showers activity, yeah, well, a little bit of shower activity. There is a risk of a thunderstorm this evening. Not much rain. I think we've got the majority of it. Most of it's out of the way. 27 degrees for tomorrow, mainly cloudy and a 30% chance of an afternoon shower, possibly even a thunderstorm. Perry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, 15 degrees overnight. Low-lying fog throughout our region. There is a risk of a shower this evening and then possibly even a risk of a thunderstorm as well. 28, 26 degrees, feeling 31 tomorrow. Sun and cloud and oh so slight chance of a passing shower. We're not anticipating it to be much, but there is a slight chance thereof. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast starting this evening in Simcoe County. Let's get to it. Here comes the weekend and here comes a sun run. Indeed, humidity levels start to build 28, 29 on Saturday. Nothing but sunshine. 30, 31 by Tuesday. Introducing a little bit of cloud cover for some shade. Not much. This is the 5-day extended forecast. York Region, have a look. And as we have a look, it looks gorgeous for the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, 28 degrees, 30 come Monday. Sun sticking around right into Tuesday. A little bit of cloud cover anticipated, 32 degrees. I'll let you know right now. And that 32 will feel more like 38 at this point. Environment Canada's keeping a very close eye on this. This is Muskoka, Perry Sound, Halliburton. Lovely throughout our entire region for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 28, 29. Again, humidity level building. At this point, it looks like a slight chance of a shower on the Monday, ever so slight, and then it goes away come Tuesday, and we're looking at 30-degree temperatures on the way without the humidex. That's the story for the forecast on land. Now, time for the Marine Report, brought to you by Suzuki Marine. We're going to talk about North Lake Huron and South Lake Huron. I want to point out South Lake Huron right away. There is a squall watch for this evening. We have some inclement weather coming, we're experiencing right now, and that could mean elevated wind levels, possibly rain, visibility issues. We are anticipating 15 knots for the wind speed for tomorrow, and out of the north, and waves 0.5 to 1 meter in height. North Lake Huron, 10 knots out of the north for the wind speed, and 0.5 or less for the wave height. This is Georgian Bay and Lake Simcoe, and I'll let you know right now it's relatively calm. Winds out of the north for both, 10 knots is forecasted, and waves 0.5 or less in meter size. So that's what we're looking at for land and water. Back inside Sarah.
The Toronto Raptors say they will not complete a trade with Kawhi Leonard from the Los Angeles Clippers until the NBA completes its investigation into the Los Angeles franchise. The league is investigating allegations that the Clippers circumvented the NBA's salary cap to pay Leonard, claims the franchise has denied. The Raps released a statement today saying the league office has informed them that they would not assume the risk of any potential outcome related to the investigation. The Toronto Marlies have hired former Maple Leaf Steve Sullivan as their new head coach. The 51-year-old played with the Leafs in the 90s and also served as an assistant coach with the club last season. Prior to that, he served as the Arizona Coyotes general manager for 3 seasons. The Marlies are the reigning AHL champions, having won the Calder Cup this past season. And the quarterfinals at the World Cup again today with France taking on Morocco.
Touré. Mbappe! Simply irrepressible.
They just so good. It took until the second half for the first goal as France's Kylian Mbappe scored to give France a 1-0 lead. They added another goal shortly and went on to win 2-0, securing their spot in the semifinals. And which Canadian superstar is it? It's Justin Bieber, who will co-headline the first ever halftime show at a FIFA World Cup final match.
If you need time, just take your time. Honey, I get it,
Bieber joins, get this all-star lineup, Madonna, Shakira, and BTS, bringing together global artists on one of the world's biggest stages. The halftime show will be in support of the FIFA Global Citizen Education Fund, which is focused on expanding access to quality education and football opportunities for children right around the world. The options for entertainment are seemingly endless. Coming up next year on CTV Barrie, Casino Rama is celebrating 30 years, and with that, a special lineup of spectacular talent and more growth on the horizon. That's coming up next. Time now to recap our top stories with the warm temperatures. The Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit is reminding people that when it's hot outside, it's probably hot inside as well. It's important to find a cool space and also ensure that you have access to lots of water if you are working outside. The City of Barrie is preparing for a landmark sports and infrastructure announcement on Tuesday involving Toronto FC and MLS Next Pro. Back in 2024, after the Marshall Green Report was issued, city staff were directed to launch the initial process of building a soccer stadium in downtown Barrie. The Hope Haven Therapeutic Riding Center in Markdale has been working with people with cognitive, intellectual, and physical disabilities for 15 years. The facility uses horses to connect with participants both emotionally and physically. It works year-round and serves about 400 participants of all ages. It is a haven of bright lights and world-renowned concerts. Casino Rama is pulling out all the stops as it marks a milestone of 30 years. Joining us now is General Manager Helen Cooper. Congrats on 30 years. How will the casino be celebrating, Helen?
Thanks, Sarah. We have an exciting month planned leading up to our anniversary date on July 31st. We have a full lineup of concerts this month, ending with Johnny Reid on the 31st. And we have a Customer Appreciation Week from July 27th to 31st. We also have a number of exciting activities going on for our staff this month.
It's hard to believe that the doors opened back in 1996. How has the casino evolved?
Sarah, it's been an amazing evolution here. When we opened, we were Ontario's first Indigenous commercial casino of the kind. And from there, we also became one of Simcoe County's largest employers. We expanded with a tent in our parking lot in 2027, where Kenny Rogers kicked off our very first show here at Casino Rama. And entertainment was such a great drive for the property that we built the entertainment center and opened that in 2001. Ringo Starr actually performed for us privately when he was preparing for his tour that year, and went on tour before we opened the entertainment center, and then we had Faith Hill actually kick it off for us. We then went on to build the hotel in 2022, and welcomed over 76 million people to the property since we opened.
Well, and I understand the evolution continues. Walk us through some of the renovations, Helen.
We just completed 2 years of renovations, Sarah, and we have enhanced our entire resort experience for our guests. We've upgraded our hotel rooms, enhanced our fitness center and our spa, and added 3 new restaurant brands to the property, which is Chow Lucky Noodle Bar on the gaming floor, Match Eatery and Public House, which is family friendly, and Atlas at St. Germain's. And we are also proud of all of the enhancements in our rotunda with the indigenous story that we have to tell here on the property.
Well, and there's even more on the horizon. Wasaga Beach as of 2022, and talk to us a little bit about what the plan is for Innisfil.
It's really exciting, Sarah. Innisfil is under construction at our new location, which is just north of Highway 89 and the 400, and that will have an enhanced gaming experience for our guests with slots, table games, and our 3 branded restaurants. So we're hoping to relocate to that site in the fall of 2027.
Well, and I understand that the casino has donated more than $14.5 million to nonprofit and community organizations. Why is that something that's important?
We are so proud of our community partnerships here at Casino-Rama, and that's on behalf of our 1,100 plus staff who have participated in supporting those donations, who have also volunteered their time, and we believe that we succeed because our community succeeds, and we want to continue to be a good community partner as we move forward, because we're only 30 years young.
30 years young. Well put. Well put. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us, Helen. We will remind our viewers that you have that special customer appreciation event coming up on July 27th until the 31st. Let's bring up the CTV Barrie website because there was a lot of information shared in that conversation, and you can revisit it all. ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Tributes are pouring in for Bonnie Tyler, including from Brian Adams, after news the Welsh-born singer has passed away at the age of 75. Tyler's grovelly voice featured on the 1984 Holding Out for a Hero song, and her #1 Total Eclipse of the Heart shot her to the top of the charts. Tyler's family releasing a statement saying that she passed away on Wednesday night in a hospital in Portugal. Tyler had been placed into an induced coma following intestinal surgery, but was initially expected to make a good recovery. Turning to business news now, WestJet's flight attendants are in the middle of voting on a strike mandate. Talks between CUPE, the union representing flight attendants, and the airline have been ongoing for 10 months. The main sticking point is how cabin crews are paid. They say they work 35 hours of unpaid duty each month. CUPE says if they vote in favor of the strike mandate, it would give them more power at the bargaining table. The earliest they would be able to strike is August 2nd. However, negotiations are continuing. Moving right into our market. The TSX was up 264 points. The Dow was up 139 and the Nasdaq was up 336. And commodities, oil was down, closing at $72.08 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $4,140 an ounce. And our dollar was up, ending the day at 70.58 cents US. The first Chinese electric vehicles are starting to hit the roads here in Canada since Prime Minister Mark Carney struck a deal with China earlier this year. Roughly 2,900 vehicles have been imported so far. However, there are concerns the cars come with security risks. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has those details.
There's a new player in Canada's electric vehicle space. The Lotus Electra, a high-end luxury SUV made in Wuhan, China, has officially hit Canadian roads, and it starts at $119,000.
We have seen that Canadian customers love SUV, particularly big SUV, and they are very focused on performance.
This is the first kind of Chinese-made EV for sale under a new agreement that will allow up to 49,000 Chinese-made EVs into Canada, essentially tariff-free. Experts say these more expensive models offer companies higher profit margins to test out and establish themselves in the Canadian market.
there'll be some early takers, and then once that's established, then you'll start to see, the less expensive options coming into the country.
So far, 2,910 Chinese electric vehicles like this fully loaded, top-of-the-line Lotus Electric EV have already been imported to Canada, and a handful of this model have already been sold. But the Chinese EVs have faced pushback and even calls for the cars to be banned from sensitive sites like military bases. Many experts have privacy and national security concerns about the kind of data the cars can collect and potentially share with the Chinese government.
All cars are computers on wheels, and they're massive computing devices. And by law in China, this state has access to that data. It doesn't mean they will access the data, but it means they can should they choose to.
The CEO of Lotus Group Americas says the cars comply with all government rules and regulations.
We disclosed to the government everything that is related on our software, everything that related on our hardware, and we pass all the examination.
If you can't afford one of these luxury EVs, more affordable options will soon be on the market. The Prime Minister wants half of all Chinese EVs imported into Canada to cost less than $35,000 by 2030. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Montreal.
Still to come, a piece of a 1,000-year-old history, a look at an ancient artifact in Montreal, and more on how it's being cared for. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Barrie. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. 4 back-to-back episodes of New Girl starting at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. Welcome back. Montreal is now home to a rare document, part of a manuscript that's more than 1,000 years old. CTV's Angela Mackenzie spoke with those responsible for taking care of the ancient artifact.
There are thousands of books carefully preserved in the Université de Montréal's Rare Books and Special Collections Library. These boxes contain 8 precious new editions.
When they arrived at the library, it was like like Christmas.
Librarian Mathieu Thomas says thanks to an endowment fund, they were able to purchase rare items like this piece of parchment. It's a fragment of a manuscript written in Latin on animal skin from around the year 900, the time of Charlemagne. It's an exciting discovery for medieval studies professor Francis Gingras.
They used old parchment to bind new books because they thought the text was not interesting. But that way we've kept some very old fragments of parchments.
It's one of the oldest documents being preserved in a Montreal university.
The fact that it's in such good condition, and you can really see it's the origin of our current script, the way we write.
Like here, we have a very old, I think in French we call it psautier.
The new acquisitions include this illuminated psalter from 13th century France, containing parts of the Bible, and an impressive volume of anatomy books from 1866.
Some of the images are pretty gruesome.
But before photography, these precise illustrations were a valuable tool for teaching medicine. Gingras says researchers can bring these documents to life, making it essential to preserve them in a library rather than a museum or private collection.
I've traveled a lot to see these manuscripts, to see books like that, and to know that now Montreal can also welcome researchers doing the same work. It's a form of pride.
And for students, it can be an antidote to an increasingly digital world.
Some of them are like, I can't wait to tell my parents that today I touched a book from the 14th century.
The library also offers guided tours to the public once a month, so everyone can get close to unique fragments of history. Angela Mackenzie, CTV News.
All right, Case, let's talk. Get up and go.
Let's close the book on the weather forecast for this evening and open it for tomorrow. And they get up and go first thing tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. What's it look like? Well, we're looking at fair skies. Certainly fair skies in the Barrie area, 19 degrees, 20 degrees in fair skies in the Newmarket region. And Gravenhurst looks like wide open sunshine and 17 degrees start the day. Have yourself a great evening. Back inside Sarah.
I like that, Case. Let's close the book on this Thursday night newscast. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks for being here. Good night.